So hi, One the Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
Hans from Dragged Under.
and we're asking some questions today about their new album, Upright Animals. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the album so far?
Thank you. Good. We kind of released while we were over in Europe, and we got a good reception. So that was more than we could expect. So yeah, I would say it went pretty well.
Hell yeah, the album
Yeah.
rips super
Oh
hard.
my god, dude, the album is incredible. I was listening to it again earlier today, and I was like, this got better. This got like a million times better after the first listen. And I loved it on the first listen, but that just shows like I feel like I'm gushing too much. But it was great.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Took a lot of nights sleeping on the couch of our producer's studio.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
And before we get too far into it, you guys have Spencer from Under Oath on the album. Can we talk briefly about how that came about?
Yeah, that was we all fanboyed out on that. We still do whenever we hear it. I think it was, I want to say Joey, our manager, who's in the used, and he pulled some strings, and I think it was right before Spencer had his kid too, so he had a little bit of time and shot a video that correlated with it and got it in right under the nose. So yeah, that was fun. Still is fun to listen to that. It's the 16 every 16-year-old in us is just like,
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is an honor to have Spencer on that. It still is. He's a true legend.
Hell yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, there is. I might butcher this because Tony kind of picked that. We were in the studio writing the record, and Tony kept like tossing back and forth names for the record, and he's like, I really want to go with Upright Animals, and immediately I was just like, love that, because I'm a big proprietor of like, everybody's some kind of spirit, ethereal being walking around in a skin suit. So we're this kind of animal that went from quadruped to biped, if you believe in evolution. So he kind of honed in on that, and originally the art was like something a little more along the lines of like the the amoeba that's in the ocean, and it crawls out of the beach and turns into a lizard, turns into a monkey, turns into a human. But it's been played out too much, and so we tried to dismantle that and make it go back and forth to make it our own, but like we just couldn't make it original enough. So the kind of nasty looking bird thing with the suit on caught on, and that worked a little bit better. But yeah, Upright Animals is kind of a promontory to how human beings they embody this sense of human and sense of animal, and certain times you see both aspects, sometimes just one, sometimes the other, sometimes both at the same time. People can be beautiful, they can make art, my fiance and I were just watching this movie last night called The Pianist. You guys ever seen that with Adrian Brody?
I don't think so.
It's incredible. I think it's from early 2000s, but it's a piece on World War II when Germany was occupying Warsaw, the Polish. It's a true story. I was like, oh man, I can't believe I love movies that are based on true stories. Anyway, I'm gonna lose track, but so anyway, he plays this guy Richard Spielman, and he's like a concert pianist. He loves playing Chopin, and so we like paused the movie and we were listening to Chopin, the composer and the pianist, and I was just like, man, this is like old composers of old are like the redeeming qualities of humankind in my opinion. Like, I can't believe that shit came out of a human being's mind, whether he was like cruising in a fucking horse-drawn carriage or pooping or like making something to eat, like he was like composing that, and I can't believe that came out of a human being's brain. So there's that facet of the human being. Then there's all the countless innumerable things that people can do that are just horrible. That's a really animalistic side. So you have the Upright Animals kind of smashed together. Then you throw in the suit and tie, you have like this archetypal animal who again went from 4 feet to 2 feet, and they go to a job, and by all rights they're still the same as like the chimpanzee. They're just more sentient and higher evolved, but they're working for a living. So to answer your question, there you go.
That is fucking sick.
That was amazing. That was cool.
We never
Anyway,
get.
it's a beautiful movie. It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, love true stories. So sorry for the tangent.
So
No, it's encouraged.
we never get really like that in depth of an answer when we ask that question. It's always just like, yeah, there was a meaning, and then they kind of like describe it, and it's like we can all go look at it, but like, what does it like? Let's go deeper than that. So,
right on.
Hell yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
Sure. It's kind of the same with all. You have to be really, your ego has to be like checked at the door, because if there's an idea that you're just like stoked on for months and you get in there and like nobody receives it well, you got to be like, that's cool. Let's figure out something else. So that's like the first rule of thumb when you go in the studio. And the way we kind of go about it is someone will have just like a folder of demos, whether it's like a riff or a lick, a chorus, a verse, whatever. We'll play it. If people in the room are vibing it, we'll kind of just loop it and write around it, so to speak. So if it's a chorus, we'll write a verse before it and something after it. If it's a verse, we'll write a chorus after it, kind of thing. So that's generally the outline. And then while that's going on instrumentally, so Hiram, our producer, him and I will kind of tackle the instrumentals. And all the while, Tony will just be on his laptop, like he's got a bunch of things to say, and he'll just be kind of charting lists of things he wants to write about. And if that resonates with like the musicality of the song, he'll just like start plugging away. And we all have like a shared note thing on our computers, and he'll send us something and be like, hey, what do you guys think about this for, that thing you're writing? We'll kind of bounce back and forth. And that's generally the process for about 3 weeks in a room, and it smells like burritos and shit.
So obviously, like, you guys come into the studio with ideas, but a majority of your writing is like done collaboratively in the studio.
Yeah, I would say most of the writing is done in the studio together. And Tony and I are the principal writers right now, although the rest of the dudes are really creative and they're writing a lot. It's been really fun to include them as well. But yeah, the majority of the writing is done in the studio. Again, we have like a folder in this app called Box, and we'll pick like the 20 ideas that we're all stoked on the most, and we'll go through and be like, if it hits, you kind of, again, write around whether it's a verse, we'll write on either end of that verse. If it's chorus, write on either end of that chorus. And then comes the lyrical part, which is the hardest part, because you want to say what you want to say, because that's what art is all about, but you also want it to be cool, So
yeah,
just make it sound cool. So yeah, that's the process, on and on and on and over and over and over. So yeah, and then we came out with that, so we're happy with it.
Nice.
Perfect. So what song off this album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Oh geez Louise, the longest to write? Probably Upright Animals, the title track. Just the instrumentals were we were listening to a lot of My Chem.
Nice.
And we really wanted to like bring back some of their style in this record, because we never really touched any of that in the first record. And so Hiram and I just started messing around with really riffy stuff and made it kind of intricate like that. And then because it's the the title of the album, Tony really had to be implicit with what he wanted to say. So yeah, I would say that one definitely took the longest. As far as my favorite, probably Long Live the King. That one is a basha.
All right.
One. Yeah. That's a great one. It's just I don't know, the whole record is kind of like a big sprint with some like lulls, but that one's kind of in the middle of those two, I guess, and it's just hits really hard. Just fun to play. It's got some cool southern riffs, which I enjoy.
Hell yeah.
What about you guys?
Let me look at the track list.
I'm gonna have to go with Brainwash Broadcast.
My second favorite, man.
Yeah, because I love the record, but I saw you guys on the Beartooth tour when you guys were doing that song live, because like that was the song, I guess the single that you guys had put out right before that tour. So like that song went fucking off live too.
Thanks, man. Where'd you catch us? Thanks for coming out.
In Philly.
Oh, that was a freaking fun show.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I had a blast in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite was Never Enough.
All right, love that song too.
Nice. Hell yeah.
The pumpkin.
You mentioned My Chem. We have to ask, what's your favorite My Chem record?
Oh Oh man, probably Three Cheers.
There you go. Correct answer.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Black Parade's got some bangers on it, but the first one is just like from front to back. It's every song is so different, and
Mm-hmm.
like the Western one.
Oh,
Hang 'em high.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Like that is the coolest thing ever. When I heard that in high school, I was like, oh shit, these guys are like whistling a fucking like Western punk song. That was just coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
So,
Incredible.
I know you guys are touring like right around the time that they're touring, but will you be able to catch them, or are you missing them on this run?
oh man, probably missing them. It's so hard to like. We were on the Used tour a couple of years ago, and Thrice was literally like a day behind us.
Oof.
We had like a day off, and we tried to catch them, but it's just like it's so hard because everything has to line up. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll probably miss them.
Damn.
I know.
So close.
Yeah. Man.
So how did the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, just shuffle around, see what fits? What was that process like?
We just so we have this big ongoing band chat that's we talk about everything. We just kind of slid it around until it looked right and sounded right. It took about like a week or something. Like I wish it was a more dressed up sexy answer, but it's not.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what would. You have to make sure there's not too many songs that are in the same key. I guess that's probably the better answer. The beats per minute and key have to differentiate enough, like when you're going through. It just has to kind of flow too, which is very subjective, but according to us, it was like, all right, I guess this fits.
So you guys kind of get a little technical with it, like bringing in like beats per minute and like what songs the key, like what keys the songs are in and stuff like that.
I feel I feel like there's I'm a music nerd. I went to music school for the upright bass for theory composition, and so I feel like Chris Martin is a big proprietor of this too from Coldplay, and I think Coldplay slams pulled out, which is totally cool, which I would too. But like their songwriting is really cool because he said there's like there's like an algorithm to like what makes a song sound good, what makes a song sound appealing to people. That has to do with the key, the BPM, the meter of like the lyrics, all that kind of stuff. So in accordance with that, when you're going through the playlist, like you want to make sure the songs flow in terms of like the BPM. Like there needs to be a little bit of an ebb in the middle of the record, and it needs to come back up and like destroy you on its way out.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, you don't want to have too much like alliteration, too many songs that are in the same key, back to back to back. So we definitely just like shuffle that stuff around until it was like, this works. This is great.
Hell yeah. All right.
Perfect. So would you be able to tell us where your headspace was at while you were creating this record?
I'm tired. That's where I was at. Just like us.
sleeping on the Doritos ridden couch.
Headspace was a while ago. We were determined, I guess, and really excited, determined, sleepy. Like our it's really odd, like between Tony and Hiram and I, all of our like creative juices would start flowing around like 4 p.m., 6 p.m. So we'd write till 4 or 5 in the morning. So it would be really odd hours that we kept. But like if something's flowing, like we would just stay up and just keep going. So something might not hit until 8 p.m. and if it did, we just ride that shit out until the sun came up, and then sleep through the day kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like again, to go back to that folder of like ideas, it's just kind of like throwing spaghetti at a wall for a sec until like 1 or 2 people are like, ooh, I like that, let's go, this is great, I like a lyrical idea for it. So everybody's kind of just like waiting for something to catch your ear, to catch your mind, or to catch your heart a little bit. Like, oh, I love that. That sounds awesome. Let's work with that. And then we'd work with that until it was done. Because you can't stop what you started. It stings. No. You just have to see it through. Like, otherwise, you could risk not having the same train of thought or the same, passion or feel about it the next day. So, yeah, that's kind of. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yes, that exactly.
Okay.
So to kind of piggyback off that, so once you guys get an idea, you finish it all the way through. Like, you guys aren't a band that kind of like shelves an idea and comes back to it later on.
That's a great question. When we're creating ideas for the studio, we'll shelve a lot of ideas, but when we're in the studio, we've got something that we think is gonna make the record. We'll definitely do as much as we can until it's complete, which is why we would just have very long days. But you know, there comes a point when your brain is shot and you have a thing that's called not fresh ears anymore. You just hear the same thing no matter how much you're changing it, so you have to just like cut and break it off and start the next day. But yeah, again, if you got an idea you're running with, like, we would go until we're out of steam. Just because I'm a big believer in like creative energy, and it can get sucked out of the room real fast. So we would usually ride that wave until we couldn't anymore. We hit the beach, or so to speak.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it a workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
Oh man, I guess that's a good question. Kind of a subjective answer too. I guess just however you enjoy music. Man, that's a great question. I'm not sure how to answer it. I guess to answer that, how do you guys like to listen to albums for the first time?
So it depends on the album, or at least the artist. Like, if I have been looking forward to an album for a long time, like say the Tyler the Creator record, I listened to that for the first time with my dad because we're both massive fans, and we both just kind of like set an hour aside just to kind of take in the album. But for kind of like, we listened to at least 8 hours for just a podcast that we literally just finished not even an hour ago. We listened to 8 hours of music, and for that I'm usually just at my desk, or at least just in my room, just kind of taking in every album. But it really depends. But I usually try and listen to, just kind of sit down, listen to the album, take it in, and then probably listen back a couple more times if I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. I love that you listen to music with your dad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Very cool.
I'm always the one that winds up asking this question, but it's funny because I don't like have a ritual or anything. I just like, I listen to it whenever, wherever. Usually it's sitting in front of my desk, or like I drive a shit ton, so it's usually like in my car or whatever. But like, I'm not like, I tried the whole like turning off the lights and like putting in headphones to listen to the new Water Parks album last year, and I got scared of the dark, so I turned the lights back on. So I haven't done that since. But it's like, as long as I'm listening, that's kind of all that matters to me.
Same. Driving is a great one for me. Like, I live 3 hours from the dudes, so if I'm going to rehearsal or we're prepping for a tour, I got a 3 hour drive over the mountain, so that's what I'll usually kick on. Stuff that I've kind of stockpiled the way it's new, and I'll just jam it. And you know, Jim is great for music, new music. We live on a lake too, so if I'm running around or walking around the lake, that's fun to put in new music. But I like a lot of like lo-fi chill music too, which is probably it's not a guilty pleasure. I'm not guilty about it. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess driving, working out, or being outside is what I listen to new music.
Fair enough.
Dark though, because I get afraid of the dark too.
Yeah.
That's fair. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Here. Raw, real. Raw, real. This is a great question. You guys ask good questions.
Thank you.
Raw, real, and deliberate. There we go. We tried to be really deliberate with what we were writing about. So there you go. That's a great question. Awesome.
Thank you.
You gave a great answer.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would have preferred another R, but you know,
I was gunning for one, but the brain having it. So
it's all good. Thank you for trying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Oh yeah. Whatever comes up naturally and organically. It's one thing I love about art or music. Like, I think the definition of something that's art is if it makes you feel something. So if they feel anything that's real or true to them, then I would be happy. I would be grateful and feel fulfilled about what we wrote about. Yeah, the whole purpose of art to me is to feel, whether it's angry or a consonant being happy or dissonant feeling. Because some of the best art is created when people feel like shit, or they're heartbroken, or they're destitute, or so yeah. To answer your question, if whatever they're feeling is genuine, then I would be happy, but I would never want them to feel any particular way. Just to feel is incredible. So and that record's a roller coaster, so there are probably a plethora of different things that they would come across feeling. Was there anything you guys felt when you were listening to it?
I don't know, it got me excited. It got me excited for new music, honestly. Yeah, that's just how I felt during the record.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So what is your favorite memory that you made while creating this album?
We were writing Crooked Halos. We just came up with the we actually had, oh shit, what's his name? The guy, do you guys remember the dude who almost won American Idol? His band is Scary Pool Party, and he came to write a song with us. Oh shit, Alejandro Aranda. You should. So he was on American Idol, and he like made Katy Perry and Lionel Richie cry, kind of thing.
Oh wow!
So our manager hooked it up for him to come like spend the day and write with us, and we mostly just hung out and had a great time. But that night we Tony and I and Hiram like came up with the Crooked Halos instrumental, and then we went and sat on the roof because I think it was the 4th of July. And he lived in like downtown LA, so we kind of sat on his roof, and we all had like the song, the melody kind of cranking in our heads. And it was probably midnight, and we're looking out over the International District, and we were checking out the fireworks sitting on the roof. That was probably one of my favorite memories. Played a lot of Smash Brothers, which was really fun because you have to take breaks.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys smash it all, but you should.
I have it. I'm not very good at it though.
Horrible, dude. The rest of the guys are crushers, so I would just get destroyed. And then probably the another favorite memory was wrapping up. We kind of kicked back and listened to the whole record on like 1,000 decibels, and just like we're headbanging it and just feeling it and feeling like, oh shit, this is really something. This is cool. So my answer is threefold, but those are probably my favorite memories. Yeah.
Good memories.
Those are great memories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
So I know you're currently on tour, so we got to know what your tour snack is when you're at a gas station for a rest stop.
Oh man. Well, Sean and I, my guitar player and I are the healthy boys. Our drummer Kayla eats a lot of beef jerky and cheese. Yikes. But when we were stopping at a gas station, Sean and I try to get coconut water, some kind of fruit, usually a protein bar. This is such a boring answer, man. Yeah, and then like a sandwich maybe. God, that sounds like shit. But that's the truth of the matter.
You trust the pre-made sandwiches at the gas station?
Absolutely not. No way.
Oh.
But I will say, when we were in Europe, their gas station food is pretty like above the rim. It's pretty great.
Really?
The food is wicked healthy over there.
Oh.
That's why there's not a lot of obese people. But they have like food rating scales on all of their food. Like there's an A through G kind of thing.
What?
And it tells you what the food is rated, so you can check out like how good or shitty you're eating.
That's sick. Wish we had that over here.
Everything would be G.
Oh, they have like, let me tell y'all, like food over there. Like let's take Doritos for instance. Doritos in the UK are healthy as shit, and they taste like shit. There's no good nasty American chemicals. They're horrible, but that's why they're all healthy, and 40-year-olds look like they're 20 and whatnot. But yeah, fruit, protein bar, sandwich if it's not too mystery meaty. Yeah. What about you guys? I mean, I wish I could say Pop-Tarts, but we're all in our like 30s, mid-30s when we eat We look at something nasty, our butt wiggles for a week. So,
well, when I go into a convenience store, the first thing I'm looking for are Lay's dill pickle potato chips. They don't always have them, but when they do,
those are great.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going for right now. Baja Blasts are in the bottle, so I'm grabbing one of those too.
Oh, I love the blast. What about you, Glory?
Probably like Cheetos. No, not Cheetos. Cheez-Its. Sorry, two different things. I don't like Cheetos. So that would have been awful.
Funny, because I don't like Cheetos either.
Thank God. I always feel like people look at me weird when I say I don't like Cheetos. It's just I could take like two, and then it's just after that the taste just gets weird.
I said the same thing a few days ago to my fiance. We were talking about we're watching Toy Story 2. There's a scene where Woody's like creeping up to that creepy owl guy while he's sleeping. And there's like Cheetos all over the floor, and I was like, "Fuck, I hate Cheetos."
Yeah,
She's like, I hate Cheetos too.
Cheetos are disgusting, man. And then for my drink, one more time.
No, I just hate them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. For my drink, probably just like a what is it, seltzer? You know, okay. Just like bubbly. Yeah.
Are you
I don't.
Fuck
you and your electric water, Glory.
I love it. It's good. It's so good. Do you like seltzer?
Depends. Depends on the flavor. I think the only seltzer I really like is the Pamplemousse by LaCroix. LaCroix. I'm not sure how you say it. I'm not
one of those. Yeah.
I'm a simple bitch. I don't really.
That's valid, man. But so actually, on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Fuck. Oh man, that's a great question. It's a very weird question. And I like. If we were a food. Oh man. We'd probably be a plate of tacos, like with different meats and sauces, like super mild and super spicy. I think fluff would be like lengua, like tongue taco or something like that. I don't know. We're all different, but we're all kind of work together. I don't know. That's kind of a shitty answer, but that's what I got for you.
No, it's great. Are you guys a hard shell or soft shell?
Soft shell. We're not crazy.
Okay, that's good. Soft shell is better, so that's fair.
All right.
You know what I never get while we're on tacos? Like taco seasoning, like American taco seasoning. Mm-hmm. You never taste that shit when you get like tacos from a Mexican place. Why do we? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is the purpose of that stuff? It tastes like sawdust and like gunpowder.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
That in a Mexican restaurant, why are you using it? And what is its purpose?
It's American taco seasoning, and so it's what they're used to.
So weird. Isn't it? Anyway. Shower.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
I ask people this shit all the time. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. This is great.
Well, mine changes all the time. Be something called the Holy Trinity, which is what my fiance and I invented. We didn't invent it, but it's from Taco Bell. It's a Crunchwrap Supreme, a cheesy gordita crunch, and a chalupa. So it'd be a Holy Trinity with
Holy Trinity of diarrhea.
Holy Dude, hell. That's my order.
I'd be dead. I wouldn't be shitting. I'd be dead. Made up of shit. So let it ride. It kind of ebbs and flows between that and like, oh man, surf and turf, like steak and lobster. Sounds awesome. And I don't drink, but like maybe like a 39-ounce glass of like Jameson if they would let me drink alcohol. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sounds good.
Like that. Perfect. All right. What about you guys? Because I always ask people this question too. That's great.
Oh, mine's actually changed. I usually had a go-to. Shane, can you go?
All right. Well, I got my go-to. Big ass bowl of pasta and then a Sprite cranberry.
Sprite cranberry. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to say curry goat, right? It's my favorite dish right now. So curry goat with a side of collard greens and then mac and cheese. And we could switch out the collard greens for yams, actually. So
yeah. You actually put thought into yours. Ours are just dumb guy answers.
Oh, it's my favorite meal right now, so it's off the dome.
Great. Where do you get curry goat?
We actually have a Jamaican place. Like I'd say, like down the street. It's like 40 minutes away, but they deliver. So
that sounds exquisite.
Oh yeah, you gotta find a Jamaican place near you, man. It changed your life.
I think they have Jamaican here, but I don't know if I would trust it. I think I would need to go somewhere like more metropolitan, where there's
That's
like
fair.
real Jamaicans.
Like
Hmm.
Glory like lists off all these crazy things and shit. She lives in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like
I live in
can't-
Virginia.
I couldn't tell you where the nearest Jamaican place is in
You just
fucking
go on
New Jersey.
DoorDash, Jamaican food.
Glory's like, hey, we got a Jamaican place 40 minutes down the road. You live in Virginia.
I'll get some Jamaican food tonight, and then have them do like a little stop off and grab Pepto on the way as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. You gotta actually walk in and see who's running the place before you actually eat the food. 'Cause
Big beautiful black lady with like a big turban on. Like,
Yep.
Just fucking doing her business. Yeah.
I trust it. Yeah. Yeah.
We had, on topic of food, we had when we were in the UK, we had some Turkish what they called doners, like a doner wrap, like the meat they cut off the like spinning
Oh yeah.
thing. And then we found out we ordered some tzatziki with it, and it's actually pronounced. You all ready for this? Tzatziki is pronounced chichi. Yeah.
What?
But we did too. A bunch of Turkish dudes were in this restaurant. We're like, yeah, it's tzatziki as well. So, and he's like, what? We pointed at the sauce. He's like, oh, it's the T is silent, so it's pronounced chechi. So I've gone 35 years around this, planet, around the sun, saying tzatziki.
Oh,
Oh
you
my
learn something
God.
new every day, man.
Chuck.
That broke my brain. That's
Wild, right?
wow. I never would have thought that.
Actually, you know what? Going back like a couple minute and a half, that might be my death road food right now. Because like on tour, all I did was DoorDash these like doner wraps with like lamb and chichi. It's like fresh vet. Oh, they were incredible. That's my new death row food.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's a very good pick.
Thanks.
So, if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Fictional world.
Mm-hmm.
Can it be a real world that's just already passed?
Sure. I mean, yeah, go for it.
The Egyptian times. I have
Ooh.
an innate obsession with Egyptian culture and Egyptology, so that's when I would live 100%. Okay, fictional, probably. Oh man, Lord of the Rings too. I definitely want to live in the Elven world, Rivendell. Holy shit, that'd be cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Why 2 specifically?
Because 1's boring and 3 is like too much input, sensory overload. I don't know.
Yeah.
Two, like right in the middle, where everything's just a little more mellow. I hang out in Rivendell a lot.
Mhm.
Man, I'm 7 nerdier by the second.
No, but it's like I know like a lot happens in like 3, but in 2, isn't like the eye still? I'm bad with names. The eye thing, isn't he still like like ruling and blasting people?
I think he's going till the end.
Really?
Yeah, but like the number 3 is more fixed on, what's his Aragorn? Like he becomes, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, two is cool. I think it's the 2 towers. That's the one where frickin' Gandalf the Grey turns to Gandalf the White. Like you think he's dead, he comes back and he's like ultra fucking cool,
Yep.
like cooler. Wow, you guys need to not air this because I sound like a fucking. Oh my god.
No, it's fine because I asked you about it. It's not like you just went off. So it's justified. It's good.
All right, y'all. It's the juice. I've been juicing a lot. Carrot and ginger makes me crazy.
Oh my god.
So I had the honor of asking the last question, and every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite color?
Oh man, kind of changes. I like this color. Yeah, I like this color.
Oh, okay.
Wrinkle a little bit.
Nice.
I like colors like that. It was yellow for a while. My fiance got me into yellow. No one wears yellow, but I kind of like this and kind of like a pink color.
Mm,
Yeah.
Good
good.
picks. All
good
right.
picks. Yellow is the best color. Just to put
Your
it out there.
fave. All right. What about you, Shane?
I like black.
Black.
And if you're gonna say that's not a color, Glory,
The color.
then I like purple.
Okay.
My guy. All right. I love purple.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, purple.
So as I said, that's all the questions you have to say. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Go see Dragged Under out now with 10 euros around the US. Check out dates. We got VIP packages, merch, hugs, high fives. Check it out.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you for now. This has been Hans from Dragged Under, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.